Ms. Salins, could you read us into close, please?
This motion is made that this open public meeting of the Warren County School Board become a closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711. The school board desires to discuss the following matter in a closed meeting. Section 2.2-3711A1. Discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of employees of the school board, specifically the personnel report, the personnel report addendum, and the employee number 2025058-02.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Could you do roll call, Mr. Bell?
Mrs. Salins.
Aye.
Mr. McFadden.
Aye.
Madam Chair.
Aye.
Dr. Funk.
Aye.
Mrs. Lowe.
Aye. Thank you. Welcome. I have 6 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get this August 20th, 2025 work session started this evening. First up, is there an action to accept or modify the agenda?
I think I have to read this out of closed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I forgot. We did it backwards this work session first. Is there a motion to bring us out of closed session?
Yes. According to the votes reported by the clerk, the School Board of Warren County does hereby certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act were discussed in the closed meeting to which the certification applies, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Mr. Valentine, could you do a roll call?
Yes. Mrs. Lowe.
Aye.
Dr. Funk.
Aye.
Madam Chair.
Aye.
Mr. McFadden.
Aye.
Mrs. Salins.
Aye.
Thank you. Now, I would like to ask for a motion to accept or modify the agenda, please.
Madam Chair, I move to accept the agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Next up, we have the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. I abstain. Thank you. Moving into the reports this evening. First up, we have a report from our school resource officer. Welcome.
Hello. I actually do not have anything today, being only the first week of school. However, I will let you guys know we have a couple new SROs in our school. We're actually fully staffed with their SROs. So my goal is to do some videos and bring them around to introduce you guys to them as well so that they're familiar to you and you're familiar with them, because you will be seeing a lot of new faces in that aspect of things. So other than that, we're excited to be back and hope for a great year. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Next up this evening, we have our ESS update.
You guys need to pull up the presentation, or you guys have it?
Probably just for people watching
For the
online.
public.
Yeah.
Well, good evening. Welcome. Andy Hill, unfortunately, John Smith could be with us tonight, so you get me and Amy. So you guys have met Amy a couple times, and I know the last 4 meetings you did a presentation. So we just wanted to kind of walk you through, as we mentioned, we're in the first week of school, so we've got a lot going on. And okay, cool. We have a lot going on, and just recap last year. I thought we had a successful year from where we were and where we got to, and bringing Amy on board as our on-site manager was really key for us. And I think what we saw was a lot of recruiting going on that we didn't have, and we saw a lot of new faces. So I think last year, obviously, the fill rate from mid-year to end year was really good. We had ability-based subs, and we went through each of these. You guys have seen all these numbers, so I'll kind of cruise through them. Fill rates by month and data. I really more or less want Amy to talk about what she's doing today, what she has going on with regards to hiring and recruiting, and where we are and where we want to be there this year. So I'll let her talk about the hiring and recruiting, and then kind of talk about the events we have going on.
Great, thank you. So like Andy said, I'll review our hiring and recruiting for this past year. So since August of last year, we did hire on 78 new subs. So that was very promising and encouraging for the new school year. And then just to review the events that we had last year for hiring and recruiting, you can see we tried to fill our months pretty full, just to get as much exposure as we could in the community and different events that were set up. So some of the events you'll see, we went to Shenandoah University. We also went to a couple other expos. We had the Warren County High School, we were there for that. And then we did a little end of year celebration. Those are the photos you see at Bing. We had a little baseball meetup, and they could get a hot dog and a drink for free and then come to the game. So that's one of those things that we had set up for the year. Just with retention, I know we had reviewed this before as well, but newsletters go out monthly just to keep them informed and educated and knowledgeable about things that are going on in the district, in the community, and then just job announcements, anything that's new or ongoing. Our Substitute of the Week awards are going to continue. The first one will be this Friday. They all get very excited about that, so ready to get that started again. End of year celebration, all that good stuff. Just had some feedback, of this past year from Warren County staff, all very positive, which was encouraging. And then just comments from our subs as well. They love friendly welcomes from the main office. They think this year has been the smoothest ever, and they can't wait to return. So very encouraging as well. So upcoming events that I have, in August, we did the Community Fun Day at Warren County. After we got home, I had like 15 new applications. So that was amazing. I was very happy about that. Reaching out now, we did the block party last Saturday. We volunteered, and then you can see we have stuff going on in September, October, and November. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the the groove of all that kind of stuff. So these are just some goals that I had set for myself for this new school year. I'm working on creating an online PDF for the subs to reference when they get to their building, where they can have all of the maps, the bell schedules, all of that stuff, their point of contacts that they need to reference, all at easy access for them. I'd like to grow our pool, obviously. I would like to be able to develop a strategic plan for the recruiting events as well. So those are just some pieces that I'm working on. Do you have anything for me?
I think you talked I talked to Ken today about Red Road, so I thought that transition went really well, and there's still ongoing improvements that we're doing in the system. So I think the district itself is really pleased with that transition, and we did that pretty quick at the end of last year to get up and running in July. So is there anything from a board perspective that you guys have seen or heard that we can improve on?
Well, I don't have it. I just want to ask a question about, you say it's 78 teachers hired last year. Do we know how many they're coming back this year? Or?
Oh, yes. Everyone that I hired last year, I had all of them come through for
Wow,
this. So a lot of
congratulations.
them were in preparation for this school year. So a lot at the end of that school year
Okay.
were to bring on to start this school year. So,
Great.
yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah.
I think 6 or so of our subs got hired by the district, which is also a benefit for us, also seeing a benefit for the district.
Right.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
Great job.
Thank you. Next up, we have an instruction report on teacher support. Ms. Bragg.
Good evening. I'm happy to be here tonight to give you an instructional update report with the start of the school year. The instructional resource team has been especially busy with new teachers, with new teachers coming in and supporting returning teachers. And I'm pleased to have with me tonight several members of the instructional resource team that will be presenting with me, and we also have several in the audience as well. So IRT is off and running. It's been a busy time, I would say, since July 1st. It feels like that the time has just evaporated as school has started, but we're anxious to be out in the schools and supporting our teachers with the goal of student success. So tonight's presentation is an update on our ongoing efforts to support our teachers and enhance student achievement. We have key initiatives that we're going to be focused on for the presentation, staff development, induction and mentoring programs for new teachers and continuing teachers, and also our targeted curriculum support, primarily in our core topics of English, math, and science, and our curriculum coordinators will provide a little more information on that. So drawing off the goals of the strategic plan, the objective for staff development is focused on all schools will score a 90% in the SOL tested subjects, and we've had conversations with Denise, our testing coordinator, about accountability, and we know that we're still striving to meet that goal. But the strategy behind it is around staff development and addressing teacher strategies that help to improve student results and building on student-teacher relationships. And that's been a focus on the professional development we've been providing throughout the summer. So the Instructional Leadership Series, and I would also like to recognize the Office of Special Services. It's been a joint effort with Special Services and IRT to bring an Instructional Leadership Series to our administrators and our principals. Throughout May through July, we held 9 meetings, including at the administrative retreat at the beginning of July, to provide that focused best practice around instructional leadership so that we can enhance our student achievement and align our initiatives both in our schools and with the division so that we have that collective efficacy. There's things that the division wants to be able to support in the schools. There's things that's going on in the schools that we want to be able to support. So really working together to achieve that goal. Those meetings had a lot of topics were covered across them, but some examples were things like out of special services with leveling student support to meet our students with disabilities with the appropriate staffing so that we're in the classrooms able to address the needs of some of our special populations. We talked quite a bit about the development of our school plans. So those are the one-year plans that support the goals towards that strategic plan. And we'll continue these meetings throughout the school year. They will be monthly meetings, so they won't be as frequently as what we were able to do during the summer. And our first in-school session will actually be tomorrow morning, where we'll be talking about the walkthrough checklist that the division has developed and that the schools will be using as well. So we'll be going through an in-depth presentation on that and kind of getting to know it a little bit better as we start to get out in our schools. I'm going to have our teacher support coordinator, that's Hope Petty, come up and talk about the next couple of things that's been going on with professional development and new teachers. Thank you.
All right, hello everyone. So as teacher support, I help facilitate our professional development alongside of Doug and Meredith. So I'm just going to kind of talk about what our goal was, or based off of some baseline data from last year. We had about a 58% engagement rate in the division PD that we offered, and we hope to strive towards 75% of our staff engaging in the PD that is offered. We'll track that through frontline management as well, and we're going to monitor that on a quarterly basis to be able to provide updates. We hope that it's going to build a culture of growth in our school division and that there's truly something for everyone. And the way that we've done it and plan to do it is that over the summer we sent out a teacher survey, and we took that information, gathered up the results, and we compared it to our division plan and student outcomes, and we've been designing sessions around that are relevant, hands-on, and ongoing. We're also looking to provide teachers choice with what they can seek out as far as professional development goes, and then also offering follow-up and collaboration. One thing that we're offering this year, or what we're recommending, is a set amount of points that a teacher may want to strive towards, which is about 25 recertification points. It helps them stay on track to hit that 270 mark when they go for recertification at the end of the 10 years. So that's something that we're hoping to help support for all of our teachers in the division. In addition to that, part of my role is to retain highly qualified staff. And so what we've done is provide a quality induction and mentoring program in the school division, and we call that the Trek to Excellence program. I've shared this before in the past, but basically our induction program is a structured support system that supports our teachers in their first 3 years, and then it ensures that every teacher gets exactly what they need right when they need it. We feel that it's important because they come from so many different walks of life, and we want to make sure that they have what they need as they transition into the role, so that ultimately our students get what they need as well. We have division and school level teams that include the coordinators that are here. We all serve as instructional coaches inside of the school. We also have mentors, coaches, and administrators. We strive to provide protected time for those mentoring conversations, things such as peer observations, which we're going to introduce back again. We've also created what's called the Essentials to Instruction framework that just really outlines what good instruction looks like and what support looks like to get you there. One of our successes that I think that we're super excited about, and also to shout out to Human Resources, is that due to the recruitment efforts, about 30% of our teachers this year came with experience. 33% of our teachers came with experience. That's pretty cool. That allows our induction program to be more differentiated, and so that the people that are inside of the program can get exactly what they need. How do we track our interactions with our teachers? We use a system called Connect Hub. Every single teacher is in the system. We can use that for our instructional coaching purposes, but specifically to our year 1s, 2, and 3, you can see how many times we've interacted with them, 1 being the most at 100 or 751. At the end of the year, we are part of a consortium called Reach Virginia, which is a mentoring program. They send out a survey to our mentors and our mentees. Our year 1 folks get that. And they said that out of the people who completed the survey, 89% of them said that they're going to stay at the same school this year. So that's super exciting. Another great thing that we've noticed is in our year 2s and our year 3, we experienced a 92% retention rate based off of how we're tracking it in the instructional resource department. So that's about losing 12 teachers total in the TREC program, which is pretty exciting. Not to lose teachers, but to be able to retain in that way is we're happy about, because then we can really build capacity for instruction and for what our kids need. So based off of that survey, we did have some positives that many of the teachers thought that the mentoring experience was great, nothing needed to be improved, and that they felt like it was supportive, responsive, and our mentors were always available. Areas in which we need to grow is time and scheduling, content-specific support, so we've introduced content lead mentors to support them in those conversations, observation opportunities, which will start in the next couple weeks, as well as more resources. So while most teachers felt supported, mentoring can be strengthened by doing those following things, and we plan to address that in our induction program this coming school year. Any questions for me as far as teacher support?
The second part of our teacher support is focused on curriculum-specific support. And again, with that idea of always improving student achievement, the objective in the school plan is related to, again, that 90% goal, this time focusing on the strategies around using data, benchmark data, also our universal screeners that we've talked about several times this past school year that are coming into play for this school year for the first time, and also some targeted intervention and remediation. So I've kind of divided it out here in English, math, and science to give us a broad overview, and then the content coordinators will speak a little bit more to the specifics of what has been provided to teachers thus far. When we talk about our 25-26 instructional focus, these things are coming out of our comprehensive needs assessment from last school year, and then what we're building into the division's one-year plan going forward for this school year. So in English, we're focused on that evidence-based literacy instruction. You've heard me talk a lot about that, along with Eileen, our English coordinator, the implementation of the Virginia Literacy Act and everything that aligns to that. That's the big focus there. In math, mathematical thinking processes to address number and number sense, that comes out of that needs assessment as we continue to look at our data around what our students need in order to be strong math minds. And then in science, rigorous inquiry-based learning. Science has been an initiative that we've been undertaking. It's a K-12 data concern. Several of our schools are identified as accredited with conditions because of those science scores, and Meredith has been working hard this summer with teachers to try to address that through inquiry-based learning. Again, looking at the data as throughout the year, not just waiting till SOL results are at the end, but looking at data throughout the year to help understand where we're at with our achievement as we move forward. And our teachers are being supported in enhanced pacing guides, some are curriculum work, and some of the things that the curriculum content leaders will tell you a little bit more about. Eileen couldn't be here this evening, so I'll sort of run down a few things with English and then turn it over to Darcy and Meredith. Again, in English, the VLA is that additional implementation in grades 4 through 8 this year. So we had K through 3 last year, first year, they're going into their second year, 4 through 8 gets added in this year. There's still some unknowns with exactly how that's going to look. We're still awaiting some decision making from the state, but there will be VALS testing across those grade levels. In K through 3, all students will take the VALS test. That's the reading assessment. In 4 through 8, it is a selected group. Every student will not take the VALS test, but any student can take the VALS test. So we've set some parameters for who will be tested, but any student that a teacher or building administrator thinks needs that assessment, it's available to them to take. So we'll have VALS testing and implementation of reading plans. Big push at middle school with curriculum work with Dr. Katie McKnight. She spoke at one of the board meetings last school year. We had a week-long work with her in June with the middle school teachers, and it was well attended. 7 middle school teachers, administrators attended, the reading specialists and instructional coaches attended, and the big focus there was incorporating those strategies that she's putting forth alongside the HMH curriculum resource, the instructional resource, into the pacing guides, and kind of getting the teachers really diving into how to pace out that content and also use those strategies in their everyday English instruction in the classrooms. We're going to work this upcoming year focusing some things more on elementary around essential questions and that idea of kind of reading text for the purpose of answering an essential question, not just reading it so we can take a multiple choice test on it at the end, but really building around those essential questions to help engagement and help get them exposed to different kinds of materials. So with that, I will flip it over to Darcy for math.
Good evening. So for math, the first thing that we've implemented this year is that universal screener. So I already came and did a training with all our teachers on how to give the diagnostic, how the program works. The diagnostic testing is happening this week and next week in classrooms. So we should have that data in the next couple weeks. I will then return and work with every grade level at every school to look at their personal data. So that's a good benefit to that program. At middle school, we did a book study last year called Building Thinking Classrooms that really talks about getting students to think in math before showing them how to do the math. So we're going to build on that this year, and we're going to have Skip Tyler come and do some professional development on the Building Thinking Classroom and the math workshop. So he's doing that actually next week on Wednesday with both middle schools. And then we've worked on enhancing our pacing guide with the computer science standards incorporated, so teachers have those right in the pacing guide when they're planning their lessons. And then at elementary, we're really concentrating on that number sense strand within the math content and really incorporating CRA, which is starting with concrete things in math, getting students to really understand how the math works before going to the abstract. So we're going to do some walkthroughs in elementary classrooms and then provide professional development on the CRA model.
Hello, how are you? All right. So for science, there's lots of exciting things happening in science. So our revised pacing guides, K through chemistry, have all been updated. And now they include an assessment tab as well that will have all the common assessments for the district in one common place for the teachers to find. Another thing our pacing guides have now are these high-level essential questions. So for every SOL, K through chemistry right now, there's a bank of higher level thinking questions for the teachers to use formatively and summatively for their classrooms. Specifically for biology, the data from the SOL test was aggregated, and we determined how many high-level thinking questions there were and and what the ratio was compared to how we're assessing them. And so that information is also available to the teachers, and all of the biology assessments have been analyzed to see how our assessments stand up to the SOL test. I was trying to look for a word there. I couldn't figure out what word I wanted. The next thing we're doing is inquiry-based instruction, or leading with phenomenon. So we're trying to flip it, like much like Darcy said, with getting the kids excited first and then get into the nitty-gritty. That's kind of what we're doing with science as well. So to promote this curiosity and critical thinking, the phenomena database has been developed. So in that enhanced pacing guide, the teachers can also access a tab that we have aggregated phenomena with. So this summer, some teachers came and worked very, very tirelessly on creating this database and getting it started. It is going to be an ongoing thing where we're going to continue to add to it when we find additional resources. So that's pretty exciting. And I think that's all. I'll be going through to the schools, doing professional development on leading with phenomenon, working with teachers, getting in there and getting my hands dirty too, and learning along with them. And that's it.
And you were at the school today, right?
I did a PD at Eagleson today on leading with phenomenon.
Thank you.
All right, so the latter part of the presentation just has a little bit of information about our universal screeners, an example of an enhanced pacing guide, so that you can kind of see how we embed our resources and that sort of thing, so it's at the teacher's fingertips. They don't have to hunt in a bunch of places. That's been a big push for a long time, and we've continually adapted and improved them to get kind of a one-stop shop going. And then we also included just our high-quality instructional materials at elementary, middle school, and high school. So any questions about the work that's been happening with IRT for teacher support and things that are going on? All right.
Thank you.
Very good,
Appreciate
thank you.
all of you.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank you to the instructional resource team and to special services for everything that's been going on this summer, and hope to continue through the year. Thanks. Thank you, Dr. Martin.
Next up, we have a report from School Nutrition. It's going to be the Summer 2025 report from Ms. Brown.
Hello, how are you all? So I do have a little video to show you. This is really everything. I don't have a lot to say unless you have any specific questions for me. We worked really hard this summer. We served over 258,000 meals. It was approximately 1,500 to 1,800 children per week, and then that's their meal count. So they all had 7 days of breakfast and 7 days of lunch in their bags. And it went really, really well. It was very smooth this year. We had added that second freezer at Skyline High School, and that really helped us not to have to run food back and forth between schools for storage, and that saved us a lot of time and back aches and shoulder aches and things like that. So it was really good. And we also have kind of revamped Ressie Jeffries cafeteria. So at this time, we have replaced all of the serving lines in every elementary school. And then, of course, LFK got a renovation. So each other elementary school within the last year has gotten a brand new serving line. And we will be working on putting in the marketing to each school very soon. That just takes a little time. I have to order all the materials and stuff too. So right now everybody's kind of a blank slate on a brand new serving line. Ressie Jeffries, we did a lot of moving around and restructuring for flow. And so if you get a chance and you want to go by there and look, we had the whole kitchen painted and everything looks really nice in there. It just looks a lot different than last year. So in my next newsletter, I'll make sure I have some before and afters of that too, so you can see it in case you can't get by there. But this is our video. Hopefully the quality's okay in here of our program.
Welcome to a week in our summer feeding program. Our summer feeding program is free meals for any child age 1 to 18. This summer we served approximately 1,500 children per week. Our bags contained 7 days of breakfast and 7 days of lunch. And this comes out to over 20,000 meals a week. On Monday, we get our food delivery, and we put everything as organized as we can into our 2 walk-in freezers. On Tuesday, our staff get to work bagging entrees individually anything that doesn't come individually packaged from the manufacturer. We use bread racks from our bread company to stack the entrees into our walk-in freezer. As you can see, it is a lot of food and it takes a lot of space for 20,000 meals a week. We make it happen while making it look easy, although some days it's rather difficult. Here's a shot of the juice that we get in, and here is a shot of our milk delivery, which goes into these coolers, which sit out by the curb and go onto our mobile routes. We also get a fresh produce delivery each week, and then we try to keep a variety throughout the summer so we can make sure that our families are happy with the foods that they're getting. We also have prepackaged fruits. This is our team bagging the 7-day meal bags. We set up a very long assembly line by our servery in Skyline High School, and our staff walk from one end to the other, picking up one food item per box. And then at the end, they'll tie the bag and put it onto a 3-tier shelf cart, which will then be put into our walk-in freezer. So we replace our delivery of Cisco boxes with shelves full of bags. We organize them based off of bus routes and whether it will be a cart that goes to the curb. As you can see, this is a very packed full walk-in freezer. Now I'm going to show you how we use our carts to load the buses. Here is our team rolling the carts to the curb where we have our buses. Our transportation department is a huge part of our summer feeding program. We are so thankful that they work the summer months to help us feed our community. Each bus has their own coolers, their own fruit, their own juice, and their own bags that we are loading up. Here you can see our staff. They do make it look easy. These coolers are very heavy. We load up the vegetables and the fresh fruit, and then of course the juice boxes that go out. And then our bus drivers will take this food and beverages out into the community, and they will offer these to any child age 1 to 18. Children do not have to live in Warren County or attend Warren County Public Schools to attend, so we do see people from neighboring counties as well. Now I'm going to show you our daytime curbside service. Here we have our tents set up, we have our misting fans to keep our team cool, and our staff rotate in and out throughout the day so that they can cool off and take breaks. Our community pulls up and gets their meals. It's wonderful.
We're doing evening sidewalk pickup, and this is our community coming, and we are our girls. And now we're gonna go interview somebody that we know. Baby, can you let us know how you like this program?
We love the program. Come down and get your bags.
As Linda said, this is our evening customer pickup. And so here we don't have our tents because we kind of stay under the shade on the side of Skyline High School. But each car that comes out, we load up a cart, and then we take our meals to the car and load them up.
We're in our shine. We are here to serve our community. This is Warren County for you.
The weather forecast for today is raining.
Raining.
Side of Leslie. And for you.
As you can see, our team is really dedicated to providing meals to the community, even if it's pouring. We did have fun this night. It was so hot, and everybody enjoyed cooling off in the rain.
We're all soaked. And we love it.
And that's a wrap on Friday Night Curbside for the summer of 2025. We've enjoyed our summer feeding program this year, and we're looking forward to doing it again next year.
They're so cute. Linda was my camera lady most of the summer, so every time I would leave to go run an errand, I would say, oh, I forgot to take videos. Linda, can you please take some videos today? So anytime I was taking videos, I felt like I'm not helping them, and they think I'm just staring at them. So, but we had a good summer, and we served a lot of people, and hopefully we'll continue to be able to continue to do that going forward. So it's busy, but it's a good time. It does look easy though. VDOE came out for a site visit, and so she wasn't auditing, she was just visiting. And so we put her to work, and it was really fun. She really enjoyed it. She said, this is very well, everybody's doing a good job, everybody's very well organized. And of course, I mean, it does get kind of more boring and mundane for them to walk up and down that, pickup station. But we have the music on, and everybody's chatting, and it's a good time. And it's also nice because the staff come from other schools, and they kind of get to know each other. There's 9 locations, and people are kind of stationed at one school, but in summer we all come together. So it's really good. And we also served summer school in between this. So we were satelliting the foods to the schools that had summer school as well. So it was a busy one. Any questions?
And your workers have a special treat because you serve them lunch that you make.
Yes. On Fridays we have a team luncheon, and we we trade off on who makes it. But a couple times Dr. Martin came in, and I was, frying up steak. I made Supreme Crunch Wraps for them one day, and that was one of the days that he came in. And so I try to do something special for them every Friday. They really do work hard to get to that last day and then get their weekend. So, yeah, it was good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. All right. Next, we're going to move into our action agenda this evening. So before the speaker comes up for each section, I'll ask if there's anyone from our audience that would like to speak on each individual action item. So first up, we have the update to the program of studies to include music in society dual enrollment. Is there anyone who would like to speak before Mrs. Bragg?
Before you is an update for this year's program of studies to include Music in Society, DE. This course would be dual enrolled through Laurel Ridge, and would be an offering at both high schools to juniors and seniors. The most important part is that Music in Society is an approved course to help meet that Block 3 Humanities and Arts requirement of the Uniform Certificate of General Studies. As you may be aware, there's been some changes to dual enrollment and what's considered free and what is paid for. The courses that we can offer to meet the UCGS blocks for our dual enrolled students, they are offered for free. So if a student can take Music in Society, that course that would be a free course offered to them. There's no more partial payments for dual enrolled courses. However, if they want to take something else in that block that we don't offer and they have to go to Laurel Ridge, they have to pay 100% of the tuition. So being able to offer Music in Society allows us to kind of check that box at that block of classes for free for our students.
Are there any questions for Ms. Bragg? Is there a motion?
I move that Warren County Public Schools add Music in Society dual enrollment to the 2025-2026 program of studies.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Great. Thank you, Ms. Bragg. Next up, we're going to talk about the Future Educators Academy MOU between Laurel Ridge and Warren County Public Schools. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on that this evening?
The Memorandum of Understanding, this is the first year that Laurel Ridge Community College is offering the Future Educators Academy in partnership with Warren County Public Schools and several other districts in the area. You may remember that Brenda Byard came and did a presentation on the Future Educators Academy. We have 2 students, one at Skyline High School and one at Warren County High School, that are participating in the program, and it's a great opportunity for them to work towards obtaining that 2-year certification and then moving on to a 4-year college to finish out their education to obtain a full teacher's license. So that is part of the MOU that goes into detail of their responsibilities and our responsibilities regarding our partnership.
Any questions for Ms. Bragg? Is there a motion?
I move that the memorandum of understanding between Warren County Public Schools and Laurel Ridge Community College regarding the Future Educators Academy be approved as presented, and the superintendent be authorized to sign the agreement.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
I abstain.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Bragg. Next up this evening, we have a request to update suite numbers at the 15th Street building. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on that? Ms. Sperling.
Good evening. Warren County Public Schools owns this building located at 465 West 15th Street in Front Royal. Non-traditional education and special services are Warren County Public Schools programs that are housed within this building. Also located within the building are several other agencies. We have the Office of Elections, Social Services, Health Department, Senior Center, and Parks and Recreation Gymnasium. What we have come to find is that when the building was divided into suites, both non-traditional education on this side of the building and special services located around the other side of the building were given the same designation of Suite 500. As you can imagine, that has caused quite a bit of confusion for our constituents, our families that come to receive support through special services, come to child find meetings, as well as families who come to non-traditional, also with deliveries. So we work together, but we get deliveries all over the place in this building. So we've been in contact with the town to ask for permission to update the suite numbers. They have asked, since Warren County Public Schools owns the building, that this school board body consider and take a vote on whether or not you approve updating the internal suite numbers. And if approved, this additional signage will be purchased to make sure that our families know exactly where to go. We'll update the existing signage as well as provide additional signage for the buildings. We are asking for Suite 700. It does appear at some point there was consideration of that because our office numbers in special services are in the 700s, while offices over here are 500s. So we can't quite pinpoint where things went awry, but that's where we are right now. So respectfully, with your consideration, we'd like you to consider that. May I answer any questions for you?
Is there a motion?
I move that the town of Front Royal be authorized to change Warren County Public Schools Special Services suite number from 500 to 700.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Sperling. All right. Next up this evening, we're going to talk about the approval of the memorandum of understanding between Warren County Public Schools and Warren County Emergency Services to use Warren County Public Schools facilities for training exercises. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on that this evening? Dr. Coster.
Madam Chair, board members, good evening, and thank you. As you know, we have a very good partnership with our Warren County Public, the emergency services, and so we want to continue that partnership, and in able to do so, we want to keep it positive with a strong working relationship focusing on safety of our students, staff, and community. The agreement that you have in front of you is for Warren County Fire and Rescue. And this branch of the Warren County Emergency Services will allow the use of WCPS facilities for training exercises, for enhancing officer preparedness for critical incidents within the school environment while minimizing disruption to the school community. This agreement also aims to foster collaboration, improve response time, and build trust between law enforcement and the school community. So we bring this forward tonight. And just to let you know, as we did at the last board meeting, we had one MOU with the Sheriff's Department. This is with Fire and Rescue We will also probably bring one for ATF also. We're hoping to do that too. We want to keep our working relationship with all of them. So are there any questions about the MOU?
Is there a motion?
I move that approval be given to the Warren County School Board to enter into memorandum of understanding with the Warren County Fire and Rescue for the use of WCPS facilities for training, and the superintendent be authorized to sign the memorandum of understanding.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Costner.
Thank you.
Next up, we're going to have the first reading of the policies updated by SBMA as presented. Is there anyone here to speak on that? This is just the first reading this evening. Dr. Costner.
Madam Chair, board members, as you know, we've been working with SBMA to update our policy handbook, and I do appreciate the policy committee in looking through these. And we have a list of policies that are in front of you tonight that are with the first reading. Also, the division is also at the school board office looking over these too, when we may bring back some with the second reading, but we'll get that to you prior so that you'll have that information. But if there's anything that you've seen within any of these policies, if you'd like, Madam Chair, I can read out each one for those that are online, or there are 18 of them. And so they go from GCE, GCI, GCPB, GCDBA, GCDBD, GDH, GDI, IAA, IB, IE, IFDE, IGAD, IGAK, IGBF, IGBG, IGBGA, IGBI, and IGE. They are also, again, on board docs online for those if they would like to look at those and if there are any suggestions or concerns from the community.
Sounds like Dr. Costner did a consonant and vowel exercise.
Yeah, our policies
Bingo.
are, yeah. Any immediate questions, thoughts for Dr. Costner on the first reading?
I have some ideas for GCPB. Would you like me to just email those to you?
Yes, well, yes, ma'am. Whatever's easiest for you. If you want to email them, then I can include that, and I'll make sure that it gets out to everyone. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Anything else on those? All right. Next up, we're going to have approval of additional appropriation request for capital outlay. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this evening? Dr. Costner.
Madam Chair, school board members, I'm excited to stand here tonight to say this. I would like to request an appropriation to go in our category 66,000 operations and maintenance for the replacement of the carpeting with tile in the pre-K and kindergarten classrooms at Hilda J. Barber Elementary and E. Wilson Morrison Elementary. The amount that we're asking for the appropriation is up to $100,000. And again, this will go to our capital outlay. And I'm pleased to be able to ask if we can have our superintendent request this from the Board of Supervisors.
And if I might add to that, last night, the Board of Supervisors appropriated $240,000 to the school system. It was seemingly undesignated funds, but in working with them, $100,000 of those funds would be for the replacement of the carpet and the tile. The remaining $140,000, I anticipate as we move forward in the repair, replacement of tennis courts at our two high school, I think that will be significant. We will not know the exact amount until we receive the borings report from the engineers, which we anticipate very soon. And then we can move forward with using those funds.
And you haven't sent an RFP out yet for the tile, for the carpet replacement?
We have not quoted, I'm sorry.
For the tile, for the $100,000, that's we don't know who's doing that yet?
Oh, no, we
Okay.
don't.
No,
No,
we-
I'm sorry.
Right.
No.
Yes, ma'am, we'll have to submit an IFB, and with that, it depends on what it comes in at. We're hoping that it will not go above 100,000, but if it does, we'll have to address that. But if it goes below, we'll also have to address how the remaining funds, because that's what the funds we're asking for it to be allocated for.
Okay. Any additional questions for Dr. Costner? Is there a motion?
I move that the superintendent be authorized to request that the Warren County Board of Supervisors appropriates up to $100,000 to the capital outlay category 66,000 operations and maintenance.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Thank you, Dr. Costner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up this evening, we have the ground services contract for 25-26. Is there anyone here who would like to speak about that? Nothing, Mr. Helmick? Okay, Dr. Costner. He's just cracking up.
Oh, well, you'll understand in a minute.
Madam Chair, board members, as you do know, our ground maintenance has been a challenge this year. We were able to offer this at one time to our lowest bid. We they experienced some challenges where they could not fulfill the bid. We then went and moved forward to the next lowest bid when we did this, and the company came out and did not realize the extent to what they had to do and decided they pulled their bid. So we then went with the next lowest bid, and we are pleased with what they've been doing so far. Brightview Landscape Services, they have a very strong reputation. The references were checked, and that they were not the lowest bid, but they are the lowest bid on the ones that do meet our perspectives of what we're requiring. So, we have submitted it for bids. We've and I'll read the explanation and summary where it does say that Warren County Public Schools receive bids for ground maintenance services. Description of the bids include mowing, weed eating, trimming, truck pruning, cleaning up debris, and blowing off clippings on hard surfaces. Mowing frequency is 3 times per month or every 10 days for the facilities for all of our Warren County Middle School, Skyline Middle School, Rusty Jeffrey, Hilda J., A.S. Rhodes, E. Wilson Morrison, LFK, and Blue Ridge Tech, and the Transportation Department. Bids were received, 8 bids were received, and Brightview Landscape Services is now the lowest bid who meets and agreed to the requirements within the IFB. The period of this performance, actually, we have on there, I see that I need to add a 5 after my 2025. I do see that now. It'll begin, if approved, we'll start them tomorrow. We've been blessed with a lot of rain at times, and rain makes grass grow and it makes everything look beautiful, but we do need to make sure we get it cut and trimmed back. So we are asking that this contract could be issued.
Any questions for Dr. Costner? Is there a motion?
I move that the Warren County School Board approves the contract with Brightview Landscape Services Incorporated in the amount of $71,589 for ground maintenance services and authorizes the superintendent to execute the contract.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have the 26-27 Warren County Schools Budget Development Calendar. Is there anyone here who'd like to talk about that? Dr. Martin, it's all you.
Okay, so as you know, the administration is ready to start on next year's budget, and it's August. Imagine. So I want to get a jump on developing the budget with staff and with the Board of Supervisors and yourselves. It is my hope that this board will serve as a committee of one, and we can all move forward in the development of this process for lots of reasons. One is you're getting a new superintendent, so all of you kind of need to know what's going on. The second is you have the possibility of replacing two, and we want everybody to know. My plan is, as we develop this, All those running for the board will be invited to the work sessions so they can hear how it's being put together and so on and so forth. I am very anxious to get started with the administrators and probably maybe a different process for them. So I want to shepherd them through looking at some lines in our budget as taking them down to zero and then building them back up again, and justifying how they're building that budget back up. My initial thoughts is our principals will get their budget sheets, and then we'll work from that point. I'm looking at also taking some of our grant funding and taking those down to zero because these grants have been around for a long time, and we might want to look at, well, we've always done it this way, but we don't have to do it this way. So just kind of looking at a fresh approach of that. As you've looked at this budget development calendar, you'll probably see a couple of things. I'm hoping to start, if it's approved tonight, with the administrators tomorrow. It'll be their first peek at maybe the expectations. But later on, which I did not denote here, is I need to sit down with all of them so we can actually do the mechanics of putting this together for their building. The first time that this board will see what the preliminary budget could look like will be October 2nd. But that's only after the principals and their staff have presented to a central office their budgets and justifying that. I anticipate that the administrators will be given technically 3 sheets of paper that they can make multiple copies for. They'll all be different colors. But if there's a personnel recommendation, that'll be a color. If there's a capital improvements or whatever, that'll be a color. If there's staff development or materials, those will all be color coded. So when they come in, we can see where the emphasis is. This will be a needs-based budget, not I wish I had this budget. So we're kind of asking everybody kind of pretend that we have the same money again. How do we survive with that money? So I just want to look at if there are any savings within the current budget. And that's the process of looking at a zero-based approach. As you'll see on October the 2nd, you will get to see all the requests that have come through from the buildings. That's when I really hope that we can sit down and, not in this sort of format, but we sit down at a table across from one another and we just kind of talk about the budget and what we're seeing. And then on the 17th, which is, as you know, personnel is 80 to 85% of any budget, which that's where the money is. I want to look at if there are any cost savings and what the recommendations are there. One thing I know I'd like to do is just look at our benefits. I'd like to talk to the county about maybe combining and looking at our health plans. Are there any savings if we combine our health plans? Don't know that, but it's something just for us to look at and consider. And then capital improvements. I have a feeling this is going to be astronomical, and I'll just give you a little hint. All of our roofs leak. We have pots and pans catching leaks. 2 of our buildings have now exceeded their life expectancy for a roof. So I'm not saying that you're going to see a plan to fund all of this in 1 year, but along with maintenance, we need to have a planned approach. This year, we probably need to do this. This next year, we need to do this. And I think if we present it in a planned approach, then we can plan for the revenues to cover those things. Certainly, we don't want to take our worst roofs first and then move from there. And then joint work sessions. I have a preliminary approval that these 2 dates, November 13th and December 3rd, November 13th and December 4th, will be joint work sessions with the Board of Supervisors. You are required to have a public hearing on your budget, and that would be December the 3rd. Now, so you know, I like lots of input into a budget. And as we put this budget together, it's my budget. It's the superintendent's budget until you approve it. And then once you approve it, you can make changes. But I found it very beneficial to have all the minds around the table so we can reach common grounds on what we want in the budget before a final approval. Notice on December 17th, it is an adoption of a draft budget, and here's why. I anticipate we may know the governor's budget by then, and I anticipate we could know the Senate budget, but we may not know a lot of the Senate or the state monies until after I'm gone. I mean, after I leave, not I'm gone. But I want to be sure that we have a plan. Here are what our needs are. If we get this much state money, we know we can do this. If we get this much, we know we can do this. So again, it's more or less going to be a planned approach on how we look at this.
What time are you proposing for these meetings? Because it looks like you're on Thursdays, you're on Fridays,
Oh, you mean times of day?
times of day.
Good, I know. I didn't put times on here intentionally because I wanted you to kind of tell me what works for you, and then I need to go back to the Board of Supervisors for those joint work sessions. Certainly the work sessions for us would be in the evening, just like we're doing here. I'm thinking like 5 or 5:30. And then, but the joint work sessions with the Board of Supervisors, again, I'm kind of anticipating it would be the same sort of thing. That seems to be a good time in the evening. I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to wear you down. And what I mean by this, I'd like to cap our meetings to 2 to 3 hours, because after that, we get tired. You've worked all day, but I want them to be pretty planned out on what our discussion points are going to be, so it will be productive. So I'm thinking 5 or 5:30.
The 17th is the October 17th, which is the personnel and benefits. I know I have a conflict that day, and the benefits is one that I've kind of become my pet project with.
So the 23rd is a Thursday?
The 23rd is a Thursday, October 17th is a Friday. The 16th and the 17th are out for me.
The 16th and the 17th of October? So you're out the 17th and the 23rd?
No. The
She didn't say the
23rd, the
23rd,
23rd, I'm
Oh, 17th,
fine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the 17th is the only one. I was saying the personnel, the benefits section of it is just
Got it.
something that I'm very passionate about, and getting our employees the same dollar payout towards their benefits at the very least.
So could I look at a different date other than the 16th or the 17th?
Possible,
Okay.
if that's not
Yep.
going to inconvenience
Absolutely.
anybody else.
The week of the 23rd, whatever, that whole week, I'm gone that whole week, so.
So we need to look at another week for there.
I have a conflict on the 23rd that week.
Okay.
So, but
So, then what I need to do is, in concept, in terms of the meetings, and then if I could communicate with you other dates, and I can do that beginning like tomorrow. I can send you some target date. I'd like to get this nailed down as soon as we can, so the public will know when you're going to meet as well.
well, I guess while we're sitting here, are there any other
Yeah.
direct conflicts anybody sees with the other dates right now?
The other dates were good for me.
So I'm going to look at the 16th, the 17th, and the 23rd and moving those to some other dates.
I can't do December 4th.
Okay?
I'm not sure about some of the dates. I'm going to be able to do all of them.
Okay.
And we might not all be able to make all of them.
Yeah.
Right,
It's a lot of
could be that we
additional
have
dates,
four at a
so-
It's a lot of additional dates, yeah.
Well, let me work on that. I love doing calendars, which is going to be another topic of discussion later.
Okay, so you don't need anything from us on this?
No, I
We're
just wanted you
gonna
to
do that.
to approve the concept, the number of meetings that we're looking at, and how we can move forward with that.
Yeah, I think this is wonderful, getting to jump on it early and getting everyone else involved right from the beginning. It's just wonderful, and especially, it's great to assume that we have a flat budget. If we happen to get more, that's great, but it's good to at least go in with that plan of that. So,
Right.
thank you for your work on this.
Oh, no.
Thank you. Okay, and then our last item this evening is going to be the approval of the additional middle school cross-country coaches. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on that?
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to present. We are proposing an additional one cross-country coach at Warren County Middle School and at Skyline Middle School. This recommendation is based upon the continued growth and success of the middle school cross-country programs, which currently have a combined total of participation more than 85 athletes. This is such high numbers of student involvement. Additional coaching support is essential to provide proper supervision, training, and guidance for all student athletes. After reviewing the current budget, that this proposal is not to impact funds already appropriated for the supplements. This is a fall sport, so we are already in session, and these proceeds are not to exceed over $4,666. And that's based upon our pay scales for our coaches are tiered by years of experience. So depending upon the qualified candidate that we hire of choice, it depends upon their years of experience coming in. Do you have any questions?
Is there a motion?
I move that the board approve the addition of one middle school cross-country coach at Warren County Middle School and one middle school cross-country coach at Skyline Middle School to be funded with the existing coaching supplement budget and not to exceed $4,666 per school annually.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. Thank you. All right. Work session, which I have no items listed this evening. Next up, I have approval of the August 20, 2025 personnel report and personnel report addendum. Is there a motion?
I move that the August 20th, 2025 personnel report and personnel report addendum be approved as presented.
Is there a second?
I second it.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no? Anything else this evening? Adjourn.